All right, everybody, thank you for joining again. Today we're going to be talking about how to really grow your minority-owned business using supply diversity initiatives. And so let me first break down, what is supply diversity. Back in the day, um, businesses would have certainly a supply chain where they needed goods, services, or what have you, and they would have systems in place to purchase goods and services from small businesses. What we found out was if you're a purchaser, and by and large, most people who were purchasers were not from a diverse background, didn't live in diverse neighborhoods, were not diverse at all. But you make purchasing decisions. What we found is what was perpetuated where people would buy from businesses that were of similar backgrounds. So if I'm Bob and I'm in purchasing for a big company, manufacturing company, I am most likely, whether I'm aware of it or not, I'm going to buy services and goods from my neighbors, from people who look like me, from people who assimilate to things like me. And thus, it would not create a diverse supply chain, but really a supply chain that supported a certain kind of community, right? One that was certainly not diverse, right? Didn't include many women, didn't include many black and brown folks. And so what was started were these supplier diversity initiatives to help corporations to really diversify their supply chain with who they were buying from and all that. So these particular efforts became a lot more intentional as time went on. So through 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, we saw that more and more corporations saw the need to diversify their supply chains, and there's a lot of business studies that go and show how a diverse supply chain encourages innovation. It encourages competition. It encourages businesses to be more competitive in the landscape because they have more diverse businesses offering different things, and that competition makes for good business. But more importantly, it creates more opportunities for more diverse businesses. They're certainly capable. We're certainly capable. It's just that a lot of times we weren't given as much equitable opportunities as those business owners who were not diverse. So that's kind of a little bit of a brief history and, more importantly, some reasoning behind why supply chains needed to diversify, and maybe a little bit of insight as to why they weren't. And I'm breaking it down. I'm watering it down really watery like, but that's essentially what that history is in a nutshell. So you got Bob, he buys from Jimmy. He's not buying from Jerome for the same product. And then what you have is Jimmy's economy is growing. Bob is in a decision-making process, or a decision-making position. But Jerome, whose company is just as capable, is left out of that economy. And so Jimmy's economy is growing. His family is doing well and prospering. Jerome, who we're going to assume is not white, his business is not doing as well with the same amount of capabilities, but just lack of opportunity. So what does that mean for today? Right now, many corporations have supplier diversity initiatives, and really they've had them for a while, but after George Floyd was murdered, a lot more people started paying attention to the unequal systems we have in our country around a lot of things. And one of those things was around the economy and also access to opportunities. And so as a result of that, a lot of companies who had weak supplier diversity initiatives or had no supply diversity initiatives started really making stated commitments to what they were going to do to help solve problems and to give back to the black, specifically the black economy. Some of that dealt with more home loans and all that kind of stuff as well, but a great part of that dealt with giving business opportunities to more diverse businesses, and especially black businesses. So that leads us to what is supplier diversity, and how can you make sure your business gets in the game when it comes to supply diversity. So it's the effort for a corporation to diversify its supply chain. And so what we have done is we've been involved with supply diversity for quite a while, for many, many years in different ways. Back when we were a baby agency, we were encouraged to go to networking events around supply diversity. So that's what we would do. We're located here in the Midwest, so we would link up with our chapter for the National Minority Supply Development Council and go to meetings. We would go to opportunity exchanges, opportunity fairs, and I say we, it was really me, but I would go to these events just to meet different people, get my name out there, and see if there was an opportunity for them to buy from me. The biggest thing that this did was provide me the opportunity to get my name out and build relationships. That was really, really good, because we really didn't have capacity to offer large services to corporations, but what we did have is we were building a portfolio. And so I would say any business out here who is already building their portfolio, that is good. And I think even post-COVID, being in a position where you can do work from anywhere in the country, but also offer value to a large team, a small team for a corporation, was very, very valuable. So networking is a key component to learning how you can put your business in position to succeed when it comes to supply diversity. So through the National Minority Supply Development Council, there are many, many different events that they host regionally. So look up the website, look and see what events they have happening. A lot of times they may be at no cost or very low cost, but that you want to be in front of people who know, love, and appreciate what you bring to the world. Some people may say, I don't need no handout. This is not a handout at all. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to pick you just because you're black, brown, or whatever. No one's going to pick your business just because you are a certain ethnicity. They're going to pick you because you're qualified and you're dope at what you do. But the other part of that, if they are looking to be intentional with spending their dollars with a minority agency, they have to know that you exist. So you have to put yourself in position to network and be known to these individuals. And when you put yourself in a place where they're looking for, you can build a relationship with someone whose specific purpose is to find diverse companies, you want to be in those rooms. So make sure you are going to regional events, specifically around, that revolve around the National Minority Supply Development Council. There's also the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. We just came back from an event with them in DC, and they are the certifying body specifically for black-owned businesses. And there are corporations who want to spend specifically with black-owned businesses, and you even more so, you can put yourself and set yourself aside to be known as a place to go to do business with, or as a place to buy goods and services from. But you want to make sure you're in front of the people who want to buy from you and see value in not only your business, but you as an individual. So you can look at it as an affinity group, you can look at it as a set aside, but whatever you need to do, you need to make sure you're affiliating with the organizations that are advocating for a spend with your business based off of your qualifications and your criteria. So the National Minority Supplier Development Council, very good organization to look up. They have many, many regional chapters around the country. Align yourself with them and start going to events. Start going to meetups. The U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce is another great opportunity for those who are black. I know there's a very, very strong U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce organization that does fantastic work with advocating and helping Hispanic businesses. And so that's another group that you can look at as well. Of course, you have one that are set aside helping and advocating for women and other affinity groups as well. but make sure you are affiliating with these groups and what they do, making yourself well known to the leadership in these organizations, and also making sure you are attending events. Again, it's a small investment to go, to meet up, to pay some of the fees, but when you get in front of people who've been looking for you, they just didn't know you existed, then you'll be feeling mighty happy about that. So that's the first big tip that I'll give. Make sure you affiliate with these groups. The next thing I'll say is make sure you got your stuff straight when it comes to how you tell your story. You have to be able to pitch. All the same rules apply in business. You have to be able to pitch and understand what your value proposition is. You got to make sure you have your deck straight. Your website's got to be decent. You got to make sure you also have some portfolio to show the kind of work that you can do and show what you can bring to the table. It's no different from any pitching to anyone else. So you have to make sure you have all those things, those key components to actually pitch business already in place. A lot of times these organizations will do speed dating activities or matchmaking activities, matching you with corporations who have a history of buying what you're selling or plan to buy what you're selling in the next 6 to 12 months. We do a similar event that's called a Thrive Business Exchange and Matchmaking event. So we'll make sure to put the link to that in the video. But I think putting yourself in position to do this kind of speed dating where you're doing your elevator pitch, you come with your portfolio, that first conversation should lead to a second conversation as to how you can help solve the problems of the business that you're talking to. And the more you can practice that, the better you'll get. And I did that for a long time. I kept practicing, I kept going to these events, kept striking out. But every time I went to an event, I would get the business cards and I would see a lot of these same people who are decision makers keep coming to the event, and they would keep seeing me. And when they saw me in the room, that meant that I wasn't going anywhere, but more importantly, that meant I was doing something right because I kept being consistent. I would see them sometimes at big events in Chicago. I would see them in New York. And then what happened was people started to advocate for me, saying, hey, I see you keep coming, keep doing your thing, young man. I see you keep doing your thing here. You know, maybe there's an opportunity we can have for you, but let's keep in touch. And so that intentionality around putting myself in position to continue to tell my story was very, very helpful, but I had to continue to be in the room. So the next point is make sure you continue to network. Even if it doesn't seem fruitful, have a game plan for communicating your business and being consistent. Have also a plan for telling about your successes, because all of these organizations are made up of people. People who make business decisions, people who are making purchasing decisions. And you want to make sure you're top of mind. When they think about, doing an event, oh man, there's that one company who is really, really good and they do events, maybe we can give them a chance. Or is that one person, they do videos or they do graphics or, they sell really, really good candles and notebooks and promotional materials. Maybe we can give them a chance on this spend. And when those people move to other organizations and they have bigger budgets, if you delivered on a few small projects, trust you me, they're going to call you to deliver on some big projects as well because you've been consistent. A lot of this business doesn't come quickly. It takes a while to do, but it's all about building momentum. And so when it comes to supply diversity, definitely make sure that you are putting yourself in position to be in front of those who have a diverse spend, first thing. And you can do that through attending events with the National Minority Supply Diversity Council, or you can also check out the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, or some of the other affinity business programs that exist. You also want to make sure you're going to networking events. You want to make sure that you're also putting yourself in position to continue to communicate your value proposition. Those things right there will help you a lot to continue to scale your business. And for us, I've been around doing the business officially for 11 years, but really, really consistently, we've been doing it, really going hard at it for the last 5 years. So we've seen a lot of benefit, and we've been blessed. We've been blessed. So the last thing I'll leave you with is, no matter what you do, you want to make sure you keep a very, very positive mindset. People want to get things quick. Again, you're not going to get business because you're a minority-owned business. You're going to get business because you're good. And understanding how the game works, using supplier diversity initiatives to get in front of people who have an incentive to advocate for you inside of their corporations is only going to help you be in position. But most of the business we have has not came through being a diverse business. Most of the business we have came from us just getting an opportunity, from those in our network, and also from us just simply delivering good work and getting newer opportunities from consistent clients we already had. But what supplier diversity has done for us, it allows us to grow our capacity. It allows us to be in position to talk to businesses who have an incentive to work with minority-owned businesses, knowing that they're working with a qualified agency. But I think the other thing is it allows us to expand our network and have higher and deeper conversations with people we would not have otherwise met through their regular supply chain efforts. Going through a supplier diversity initiative to meet people, to engage with corporations, to engage with buyers, is like a fast track to help us scale the business when we are ready for that next level. And so make sure that you're doing everything you can to keep your mindset right and be positive, because your opportunity will come. If you trust God, if you do everything you can to be a good business, add value to your community, your opportunity will come. You put out good energy, that good energy will do nothing but come back to you. So make sure you keep a positive mindset, have a plan. Have a plan for where you want to go, how you want to build your business, what kind of revenue you want to bring in, and make sure you work that plan. And even when it seems like it's stale, be open to adjusting your plan a little bit, but just work that plan, and then you'll start to see results. So hopefully that gives you some idea around how to scale your business with supplier diversity initiatives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Have you found success through supplier diversity initiatives? Have you not found success? Give us your little testimony or whatever. Also, if you have questions or you want some help with that, feel free to hit us up. We'll make sure we put our email in the description, our contact information as well, or you can DM us anytime. And so really that's it. And don't forget, no matter what you do, be sure to prioritize impact over transaction in everything you do. Appreciate you.